With us now is Marc Alessi, and we're going to be talking about something that is so scientifically stupendous. I had to bring him down to find out more. Welcome, how are you?
Doing great, thank you for having me.
Good. I kind of know a little bit about the lab that you're talking about because for years now there's been a buzz, but now there's a groundswell rescuing attempt for the lab. Can you tell us about what you're championing?
Sure. Well, I mean, you're right. The groundswell is quite gratifying. After years, the board of the Tesla Science Center was a community group, and for decades they saw this gem in their backyard in Shoreham and wanted the world to help save it. And finally, they caught lightning in a bottle back in 2013 and were able to do a world record-breaking crowdfunding campaign. They raised $1.4 million in 6 weeks from 108 countries, from 33,000 donors, and a big cross-section of that crowdfund were innovation Silicon Valley types. And now there's a worldwide interest to not only save the property, there's money that's necessary to actually restore it and turn it into a museum, science center, and innovation space.
And who was this? Now, we both know who we're talking about, but just for the audience that might not know who we're talking about, how significant is this man? Tell us a little bit about him.
So Nikola Tesla was one of the famed inventors at the turn of the 20th century. He is the gentleman that we can thank for the electricity that we use, alternating current. It wasn't Thomas Edison. Radio, remote control, fluorescent lighting, neon lighting, speedometer, tachometer. He had over 300 patents, but somewhere along the line he was forgotten. To the point where when I was sitting in elected office and my community came to me saying we need to save this property, I didn't know who Nikola Tesla was, and most of the general public didn't. Yes. Right. But once you learn about the impact he had on our lives and how important he has been for the technological innovation that we experience today, the fact that we have his last standing lab and can tell his story, that is a duty that not only all of us as Long Islanders, but the world stepped up and helped save this property so we could do that. Even
wireless technology, right? Didn't he, the components of part of your cell phone?
Yeah, well, so he was one of the first, he did the first remote control boat right at Shoreham Beach. But the reason he was here on Long Island, after he unlocked the power of Niagara Falls and built the first hydro plant, and after he won the battle with Thomas Edison, AC versus DC, Tesla versus Edison, J.P. Morgan was a friend of his. He lived at the Waldorf Astoria. He was friends with Jacob Astor, the owner of the Waldorf Astoria. He was friends with Mark Twain. He was friends with Stanford White, the famed architect who designed this lab and makes it special just from that point of view. But J.P. Morgan funds him to do the first radio transmission to Europe. And Tesla was looking to do two-way radio communication, something similar to ham radio, and felt that he could do wireless transmission of electricity. So when Marconi did the first radio transmission, he used 17 of Tesla's patents. And actually in the 1940s, the Supreme Court ruled that Tesla is one of the true inventors of radio. But once that transmission happened and Morgan called Tesla on the carpet saying, "What happened? How did this guy beat you?" Tesla's like, "This guy didn't beat me. He's doing something very low level. I'm trying to do two-way communication with multiple channels and wireless transmission of electricity." That is something that people hang their hat on, saying, you know, J.P. Morgan didn't want wireless transmission of electricity and free energy, and he destroyed Tesla. And a lot of that is subject to debate, but in the end, the funding was pulled, and he never got to finish off the tower here on Long Island.
So what you're doing is you are, like I said, you are going to be the champion, you and a lot of other people, to raise enough funds to really build this incredible, it's 16 acres, right?
Yes.
16-acre property. You're going to have an educational component. It's going to be wonderful. Are you excited?
I am excited.
Good.
This is a passion play for not only me, but the entire board. The board's been at this for decades. Jane Alcorn, our board president, and others on the board that have dedicated the past 20 years of their lives to make sure that this happens. And we think it's so important for the world to have this World Historic Site preserved and to hear the Tesla story. But for Long Island, the fact that all these eyeballs from the innovation hotspots around the world, the Elon Musks of the world who has contributed, the Larry Pages, the founder of Google, Vint Cerf, the inventor of the internet, the real inventor of the internet, they all are getting involved with this project. And those people are going to be here on Long Island, whether virtually or actually in presence. That's a big thing for our region.
Well, congratulations. If you would like to make a difference, you could please go to their website to find out more. Stay tuned. If you would like to support that Science Center, I want to tell you there's a great opportunity and it's coming up. When is this event, Marc?
February 28th at 7 p.m. at the Cinema Arts Center in Huntington. We'll have this filming of Tower to the People, which is a documentary not only about Nikola Tesla, but about the entire effort to save the lab and turn it into a museum and science center.
It's so exciting. There's nothing like it on Long Island, and we really do need to support this cause.
Definitely nothing like it on Long Island, and I would say nothing like it in the world. It's the last standing lab of Nikola Tesla, World Historic Site, and we're lucky to have it and be able to restore it to its glory.
And how would people find out more information? Just by going to your website and signing up through like an event?
Correct. Our website is teslasciencecenter.org, and all the information will be right there.
Excellent. Thank you very much. See, there you go. A great opportunity for you to support this cause.